Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Sorry about that little bit before. I was just testing. Hopefully this works, because I was just checking if I started the live in this direction, if it would actually stay in that direction. Which it seems to have, instead of hi Lisa, instead of it being a little narrow screen, I thought this might work a little bit better. So I just have to reorganise my desk so that I don't have lots of bits showing. Good evening, Alison. It comes out small on the screen. Oh, I'm just watching it and it's like, because I've turned it landscape, and when I turn it landscape normally it goes sideways. So can you let me know if it's going sideways or not, or if it's actually going the right way? Excuse me. Because if it is coming out sideways, like on my screen on my computer, it's coming out, can see it clearly. Alright, I'm going to give it a go this way and see how we go. Alright, so welcome ladies. I'm sorry, it's been a few sessions, hasn't it? So tonight we're going to make this shaker card, which is nothing spectacular, but it's quite effective for a simple kind of card, and you know, it's great for kids and stuff like that. So you can do lots of different ways of doing shaker cards, so this is just one way. What I did forget to do with that, which I will do in the one that I'm doing now, is take off some of the extra sticky that is landscape at the top of the screen with comments underneath instead of over the picture. Ah, okay, interesting. All right, we'll see how it goes once I upload it after I finish the live, because I think it's easier to see like this. And I think when I did it last time like that, hi Andrea, the computer and the phone didn't kind of like each other, so we'll see. So you can do this lots of ways. I actually wanted to put my my little cutout in the back. I was going to put it in the back, but then I couldn't line it up. So because this is actually smaller than the cutout, so normally I would put that on the back of the thing. So it depends on the punch that, or the die that you're using, as to excuse me, whether or not that works or not. Okay, so these little cute little things that are inside here are the Sparkle and Shine sequins assortment, and they have little circles and stars, which are a really cool size for this. And I think, yeah, I put some of the, oh no, they've got little half rounds in them too. I think they're in there. I also yeah, I don't know how well you can see this if I hold it up. So there's stars, and then there's these little glass bead things, which are like little half, oops, no, where's the camera? Little half rounds. So they're in there as well. I made I used one of our shaker domes, which have these little effervescent thingies in them. I can't actually show you the card, but they have their little balls in them with the bottle. So they're like they're full rounds, and so and the little glittery bits are half rounds. So you get, what I liked about them is you've got the different shapes that move about. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my card base in half, I can line it up. There we go. I don't really need my trimmer, so I haven't got it out to line everything up. Did you hide that on purpose, Andrea? The balls, the little balls are cute. They are very cute. Alright, so I've got a piece of Designer Series paper. If you wanted to, you could have another piece behind here. You could cut out a couple of bits, or you could cut out like quite a large piece. It's really up to you. I'm using this set here called Spruced Up. It needs to be a little bit higher. There we go. So that's the stamp set, and then these are called Spruced Up outline dies. So excuse me. You've got the two ornaments. You've got some snowflakes, two trees. Oh, there's another ornament there and a little present. So you could do any of those. The present, yeah, that also cuts out the outline. There's some lights. Let's do a tree. Should we do a tree? I'll do a tree today. I'm going to do the larger tree. So I'm just going to cut that. So what you need to do is you need to have your, decide how you're going to pop this on. You could do the smaller tree over here. So I'm going to cut that there, so that I can have my sentiment on the far side. And I was going to bring in my little cut and emboss machine, but I'm going to just lift this up so you can see. But the size paper that I've got doesn't fit. So we've got our standard cutting plates. I'm going to pop that on there. I just want, this one here will cut out an outline as well as a whole piece, so I kind of want that in there, and then we're just going to cut that through, bring that through to the other side. Get that out, and then I can move this over. Whoops, banging, crashing, sorry. Okay, now you're really far away from the desk. Oh, we've got 5 watching tonight. Yay. Alright, so the next, so if you don't have sequins or anything like that, you could get, you know how when you're, I don't know when you're little, but you know when you've got an old hole punch and it collects all the little bits at the bottom, you could just get a whole lot of different coloured card or paper and punch a whole lot of those out and pop them in as your little confetti pieces. It doesn't have to be actual glitter or anything like that. I'm not the most massive fan of glitter, so I might see if I can pop this in. I wonder what that'll look like. You know what, I'm going to give it a go. So I'm going to end up with that white edge around it, so that might cause a problem, but if I pop that, if I get this lined up where I want it, and I can put a little bit of glue. I've had a play with some little bits today that I'm going to show you, that I'm going to put on here, which I've had sitting in the drawer for a while, since this new catalogue came out, to be honest, and haven't used it. And then I made a farewell card for my husband, for one of his staff at work, and she's into bling, and I thought, oh, these, I used the Pearlised paper and thought, oh, I've got these pearl enamel things, so I might see what they look like, and they came out like pearls. I was super impressed. Right, so get used to using these tweezers. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to slide it in. Now I've got glue on my tweezers so that it lines up, and I want to get that, make sure that it's lined up properly. So I'm just going to set that inside the, excuse me, clearing my throat. I seem to have this like frog, and I think it's because I haven't taken my antihistamines today. Alright, so I'm going to pop that in there, and then I'm going to put this. Yes, it does, Andrea, you're right. Okay, thank you. Right, so now that this is a little bit bigger, I can grab it, and then I'm going to sit this piece inside. Now if you had a die that you were using, you can use punches as well. If you had a die that you were using that was exactly the same, like it didn't punch that out, you wouldn't have to mess around with it, you just have to pop it back in. So you just want it to be like so, so that you can see. Okay, so then the next part we're going to do is we're going to use some window sheet. Now I don't know how well you can see this, but it's basically clear acetate. And if you want to have a go at this and you don't have any acetate, if you have got a photopolymer stamp set like this, when you get it, you get this piece of acetate, which is quite thin, and it goes supposed to go on the top there, and then you also get this piece, which I actually just tuck mine in underneath in case I want to, for some reason, put it back on here. But this piece here is the same as our, so it's quite a bit thicker, which is the base piece that your stamps arrive on. So I don't know why I keep it in here, I just keep it in there, and then I use the top piece to keep my stamps. So you just need that would work just as well. So you just need a piece of acetate that is going to go over the size of the shape. All right, so I've got it with a little bit of a gap, so I kind of want a bit like that. Oops, put that in there. So this is going to go on there like that. Now, being acetate, it's not going to like glue super easy. Hi Helen. So I'm going to just put some double-sided tape. Let me see. The problem with me doing the camera this way is that now I can't see what I'm doing. I'm not in the camera view. So we're just going to put some double-sided tape or tear and tape around the edge of your acetate. And this is going to go face down onto excuse me, face down onto your designer series paper, the back of your designer series paper. Alright, so the trick with getting the backing off tape is to make sure that it's burnished really well. So once it is burnished really well and it's adhered on the other side, that you'll find the getting the backing tape off much easier. Oops, like so. Just get rid of that. Okay, so now you can see where your sticky is. You just want to make sure you don't kind of want it to be seen really. It's not going to make too much difference if it is, because it's just going to be on that side there. Alright, so that gives you the window there. Alright, so we'll just make sure that's really pushed down. Okay, next part. These are called foam adhesive strips. You don't have to get the ones from Stampin' Up. You can buy rolls of foam tape at craft shops and Kmart and stuff like that, but you do need something that has got a bit of height on it. If you don't have these and you don't have foam tape, get your dimensionals, and I don't know how well you can see this. See how you've got that edge around. Get your scissors and just snip and make a long thin piece all the way along there and pull them off and use them as foam strips. It's essentially the same thing. I think the foam strips are slightly taller than a dimensional, so I wouldn't recommend going between both of them. Use one or the other, but it is a great way of using up your edges of your dimensionals. Yeah, I agree, Lisa. Glitter is evil. I don't have it either. Alright, so you're just going to come slightly in from the shape might be a little bit harder, but that's okay. We will make it work. So you're just going to come in around the shape. Now obviously the other bauble that I did was a little bit easier because it was, yes, I'm going to make sure that that's all the way down too. So this is just kind of like quite easy curving it around, because I didn't think this through, because of the shapes on this. You could actually just go straight down, straight across and straight up. It would use less strip, but you'd have, I think you'd have to put more sequins in, because they would disappear around the sides a bit. So just make sure it's stuck. It sticks quite nicely to the window sheet, which is good. It's actually easier going up the tree than it was coming down. Oh, is it going to fit? It's going to just. So I might, what I'm going to do, where do I put them, is just trim a little bit off the bottom. Oh, an escapee, and shove that in, just because I don't want anything to come out. So if you can get it around in a in one piece without cutting, that would be useful. If you find that you have to be cutting it, make sure that there's kind of an overlap, or that there's no gap. Otherwise you'll end up with sequins or glitter, whatever you use inside it, all over the place. So now what I will do is I will use another one of these, and I'm just going to cut to create the edges for the rest of the card so that it is not lopsided. Okay, remember, if you're using the edge of your dimensionals there, you can just use your standard dimensionals for that piece. Oops. It just likes flying everywhere. There and a bit there. I would like a little bit in the middle so that it doesn't collapse on me when I'm putting my sentiment in. So I'm just going to put another piece there. Alright, so that's used about 2 and a bit pieces, 2 and a quarter pieces. Alright, you could probably use more if you wanted to. So then this has still got its backing on it, so you're going to pop that on like so. So before you pop it on, you're going to put your there's 2 ways of doing it. I prefer to do it this way. If you are putting just a sheet over the top, so if this was in one piece, you could make it wider, and you could put another piece of acetate on here, or I just put my sequins directly in there. I have since found, oh sorry Lisa, so I'm just going to, and then hopefully they'll stand out still, but and it always seems like there's heaps in there, but when they move around, I thought I had heaps in my ornament, but actually there wasn't as many as I thought, because you need to pile it up in the middle to make sure that you get everything, and so once it spreads out there's not as much in it as it looks. Oops. I just found some scattering on my desk. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just on the edges. Yeah, that's funny. I don't know why your that's weird. I don't know why your message, and Andrea's did it as well, has hidden itself. Okay, so I want to take all of this bit off. And then I want to take all of that off. Sorry, I've got the shakes tonight and I can't seem to get it off. Alright, so I'm kind of just actually I want to lift this end because I want to be able to pull off some of the tape and get it kind of lined up before I pull down all of it. So this is a good trick, even for double-sided tape, is to just lift off the corners, and then as you, so that one is sticky. Now, one little trick that I was going to tell you about, which I can't find, is if you have the embossing buddy, just run it around the inside of the, just to get a little bit of the stickiness off the side. Alright, so then we're going to very carefully line this up, and you'll see as it goes down that I don't want to press anything too heavy yet. I just want to make sure it's kind of centered on my card, and I'm happy with that. And then I'm just going to press that down, and then I can press the center down, and then I can just carefully, if I flip this over, hopefully it's not falling out, I can then grab these little tabs and push that down, and then just work my way around that down, and pull that one. No, I won't glue on that now. Pull that one down, and then I can pop the tweezers in there and grab that one out, and then I can go around to the top one up here and pull my tabs out like so. And see what I mean? Like, I thought there was heaps in there, but actually it all falls down to the bottom. So it probably could have done with a bit more. The other option is if you're putting the if you're putting a backing onto your shape, so if you cut your shape out and you're just putting another backing directly onto it, you could tip it over and put your sequins inside your shape. Oh, there's a sequin inside your shape, and then you can stick your piece down, which is what I did with the bottle one that I showed you. That adheres to the inside, to the outside, and then the inside, and then you put another piece on there. So that's that. Oops, there's another piece. These little things just kind of come out everywhere. I thought I had them all. Sorry, the light on that one's not really. Let's see if that's better. And I'm just going to use, put it the right way around, Kelley. Use the stamp set. It says Merry Christmas on here. I might go pool party, I think. Just to tie in some of those other colours that I've got there. And pool party. Yeah, that'll work. Whoops. And then, oops. I did need it. Oh, thanks, Trisha. Alright, and then I'm going to pop it on some pool party. Doesn't feel like Wednesday night. Does it feel like Wednesday night to anybody else? Feels, I don't know what it feels like. Doesn't feel like Wednesday, it feels like Friday. I'm going away for a few days and I've just looked at the weather and it's snowing. And I don't really have snow clothes, so thank goodness it's a conference. It's going to be inside most of the time. But I went to pack my bag and I was like, I'm only used to going away for like 2 or 3 days at a time. So, you know, a small holiday Wednesday. Oh, bugger, that's too narrow. So I went to, I've packed my suitcase and I haven't got half my stuff in it. So I'm going to have to get the big suitcase out, which seems a bit of a waste for 4 days. But anyway. The thing with snow, the thing with snow is that you kind of need to take some warm clothes. So to get the other suitcase out of the roof, maybe we'll put some red on there as well. Where's my scissors? That's what happens when you try to cut such a small amount. The blade can't grip it properly. Oh, is it, Andrea? You're probably a little. Do you normally have snow? It's been a while since we went to the South Island about 6 years ago now, and we rocked up to our friend's place in the middle of Ranfurly, which is in the middle of Central Otago, and we got up the next day, or she got there in the afternoon and she's like, oh, it's meant to snow, and then we're like, really? And we got up the next day and it was just like drifting down. It was so pretty. It lasted like 3 minutes or something, because the ground was too warm for it. But I've never seen, I've been to the snow, but I've never seen it snowing, so that was quite cool. That was Piper's wish. Sleet's not fun though, is it? And it's not fun when it's super cold. Oh, I didn't see her pictures. I saw her post of saying it was snowing, but I didn't see any pictures they actually posted or videos. Okay, so what I'm going to quickly show you, hopefully you'll stick around for, is these are called Pearlised Enamel Effects Basics. That makes me wonder whether they're going to bring out some more. So this one here is real red, and then there's black, pearlised black, and pearlised white. And I used the white, and it made like really cute. The only thing with this is it takes a really long time to dry. So if you're using it, you need to make sure that you've got somewhere that it's safe and secure, that it's not going to get knocked around. So what I thought is I would put a couple of dots. What I thought was really cool with this was I saw someone use the silicone mat, and they just put a whole lot of them on the silicone mat just to make their own kind of like rhinestone thingies. And then you can use your, once they're dry, they'll just lift off the silicone mat, and you can attach your glue dot to them and use them as embellishments and not have to wait too long for them to dry. So that's the downside with this. So I'm going to use the red. I don't know, should we use black? I feel like they're going to last a while. Maybe just put some scattered around. What I actually wanted to do was use them. Oh, Lisa, I'll have to get back to you. I'm not 100% sure. Let me just have a quick look for you. If my internet would speed up, would be great. 156. Oops. They are $32 for the 3. They come in a pack of 3. Let me just show you what they look like on the screen. So you can use them as a running, and they kind of dry like a lacquer. What I wanted to do was see what they would be like on here. So I could put like little dots. I don't want to get my head in. So I don't know how well you can see that, and then you could put some red ones in as well. Put the white lid on so we don't mesh the colours together, and put a big one up the top there. What I like about these, I mean, this is the first time I've played with them. What I like about them is they actually, well, this one in particular is real red, so it is kind of, it's still coordinated colour wise and with our if I put them on the side as well. Might be OTT now, Kelley. Too late, started. Put a little bit there. Might be OTT, but that's what my Christmas tree ends up like. So, you know, that is life. Let me get back to my screen so I can see. All right, so that is that one, and let me, so you can see what it's like when you draw a line. Oop. Yeah, had an air bubble in it, now it's all yucky. Actually flows really nicely. So you're just gonna, hi Stacey. Oh yes, I think that's a good idea, Andrea. I think that's a great idea. Love to see one of your cards, Andrea. I mean Stacey. Alright, sorry. Read at the top. Now you don't have to have, just to remind you, you don't have to, thanks Lisa, you don't have to have dies to do this. You just need to have something that you can punch out a shape. You could even just cut the shape out with your, you could just cut the shape out with your trimmer. It doesn't have to be anything in particular. You just need to want to be able to, the key is that the key is the raising it up so that the glitter can move about, whether that's with those strips or whether it's with the edges of your dimensionals, or it is the foam tape that you can buy. And if you buy it, I've seen it kind of about that wide, yeah, about that wide. I would cut it. I would cut yourself some strips and I would cut it into thinner pieces just to kind of give you, yes you could Stacey, yeah, any shape punch, like the old ornament punch that we had last Christmas, that would work really well. It could just be a rectangle that you've got something written in the background that then you can put your acetate over the top. It makes it easier because it's a rectangular shape or whatever, you know, so anything like that would work. Yeah. All right. I'm going to let these dry, and once they're dry, I will post a picture to show you what they look like when they've dried, because they're still quite wet. And you don't really want, like, it's holding quite nicely, it's not really dripping too much, so it kind of creates a yeah, I quite like that. The downside is that they just take a really long time to dry. Although I made the card for Matt and it was an A4 card, and all the way down the spine I put white dots, so there must have been about 24 of them or something. And I took Piper to dancing and came back, and that was about an hour, and they were dry, like I could touch them and they weren't sticky. So you know, you just have to be mindful that they are going to take a little bit longer to dry than what using the rhinestones and stuff might do. But doing them on the I think you possibly could, Andrea. You could mix them. I don't know. You'd probably want to get a different squeezy bottle and mix the glitter in that, but it has got a sheen to it, and you probably can't see that very well on camera, but they do have quite a glossy sheen to it. It could do, Lisa. I'd be a little bit concerned about it blowing it, so that it I'd have to have a play with that. Yeah, so especially the smaller ones, like I'd be a bit more concerned about the yeah, the heat gun pushing, like changing the shape of what you've got on there and pushing it. So I probably would be inclined to just leave it. And If it was a last minute project, I probably wouldn't use it. But I mean, you get heaps. Look, I don't know how well you can see. You can't actually see. But like, I used the white today and it doesn't look like there's any going out of it. So it's got just under 30 mils in each bottle. So you get 100 mils across. Yeah, you could probably glitter while it's drying, if you don't mind glitter everywhere. You could probably put it down and then sprinkle glitter on top of it. I would be inclined to probably use the glitter with like a heat and stick powder or adhesive sheet or double-sided tape rather than that. But that would give you the 3D look that you would be after, I suppose. Yeah. It would be lovely to see if someone wanted to have a go with that. It would be cool. All right, ladies, it's nearly 8:15. I'm going to let you go. I would love to see anyone, see if anyone had a go at doing the shaker card. Like I said, it doesn't have to have the sequin stuff in it. You could put glitter. You can buy really chunky glitter from Kmart that you could pop in there. You could cut out little shapes from punches and things like that as well. That would go really nicely in there. And you could just use any kind of... I'm just looking at that on camera and it looks like it's not lined up properly. But it is. When I lift it, oh, maybe not. It's not. Yeah, you can play. Yeah. Oh, I made a bow, which actually, because I used the tree, I don't need the bow. Let me put the bow on the edge of my, seeing as I've made it, because you know, bows can be fiddly. So instead of wasting my bow, I'm going to, I just realised that I made it because I was going to do an ornament and then decided to do the tree. I'm just going to pop my bow there. There we go. Done. Alright ladies, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing any creations that you make. Please message me if you have any questions or anything. Remember that I will post this up, like it gets posted to my page, but to save you scrolling through, I also load it to my YouTube channel, which has a list of all the materials that I've used as well and links to them to my online store. So if you are interested in any of these products, please do get in touch and I can help you with that. But just a disclaimer, tomorrow I'm flying to Christchurch for 4 days and I'll be back just before the live on Sunday. So if I don't answer as quickly as I normally do, please do understand that I will get back to you as quickly as I can. All right, well, have a fabulous week. Thanks for joining us, Stacey. It was really nice to see you there, and the other ladies that are there and that have been chatting along. And I will see you Sunday night. Take care. Bye for now.